Hi, everyone. Just a little bit of content warning. I'm going to be making quite a few crude jokes about politics and also a bit about sex in the following video. I'm also going to be cursing a lot because, I get pissed off at, you know, I get pissed off at a lot of subject matters pertaining to people denying people human rights, like, control over their own bodies. But whatever. Yeah. So I hear a lot of people in politics saying, like, oh, either A, we should have abortions, or B, like, abortion should be banned. And what I think is stupid about the whole argument is, A, it kind of should have been, like, it should have been mainstream that people would be getting abortions in the first place, if that's what they wanted. And, you know, call me a radical snowflake if you want in the comments, but if you're doing that, then if you didn't see the fucking trans flag on the video, then don't know why didn't click off. But regardless, it's honestly stupid to me how the entire argument over rights of people in general, and this pertains to abortions. This contains pertains to uh, you know human rights in general, pertaining to the rights of women, pertaining to bodily autonomy, pertaining to a lot of things like racism, uh, religion. Okay, maybe not religion, but I'll touch on that later. And transgender healthcare. But what I see made a waypoint in a lot of, or not a waypoint, but as a point in a lot of arguments, people arguing against all these things is like, oh, it's damaging to children. And that's fucking stupid. But it's just, as a manipulation tactic, it works really well because there are really only three groups of people who are going to be worried if like the safety of children is brought up. A is like concerned adults who are like concerned about the children. um, B is people who want to advertise shit over it, so the groups making manipulative shit in the first place. And C, which is your local pastor. um, but yeah. So I honestly don't, and I'm going to debunk this for anyone who doesn't know about this stuff. But uh, abortion wise, a lot of people say, like, oh, abortion is baby killing. Uh, I don't know. That depends on where you draw the line at baby. I'm pretty sure a cluster of cells that is at the moment, at that time, doesn't even really have a functional brain and is fucking kicking around in the womb to stimulate nerve impulses and actually grow a bit of muscle. Um, is like a sentient human. I hear that argument made a lot. That's not really accurate. Um, and you know, a lot of people just say, "Oh, it's child killing," and then a lot of people are like, "Oh no, child killing! Let's ban it," without really researching what it is. Or people just blatantly look into the fact that, oh, my religion says, like unborn human children would have a soul, and I'm like, bitch, do not control my life with a fucking sci-fi novel. Do not control people who will actually be affected by this. People who have uteruses, mind you, I don't have one. Uh, just don't try to control other people with a sci-fi novel. If it's controlling how you live your life, I mean, I can't really be angry at you for that, but you know. And I know some people might get angry at me about this. Like, call me all the slurs you want, get fucking banned from YouTube comments because that's against guidelines. But it just seems stupid to me that it seems stupid to me that you would be going out of your way to just ignore a lot of the hypocrisies found in most forms of biblical text. And this isn't just Christianity, this is in a whole lot of religions. Christianity, Catholicism, you know, uh, the Holy Quran, that sort of thing. A lot of, biblical texts and stories are just questionably accurate as pertaining to the history aspect. B, just straight up kind of bullshit. Like, if I went into any random supermarket and I'm like, hey, do you think that there's like this alien like lord that like creates universes and gives commandments to like a bunch of little dudes he made? You'd probably just say, well, fuck that. That's crazy. That sounds like something straight out of a fucking sci-fi novel. Even if you go into a church, then some guy's gonna flag you down and say like, "Ooh, sir, do you have a second to talk with me about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" Oh god, sorry, I'm sick right now. But yeah, and back to the previous point though, with a lot of people making points saying like, "Oh, children are in danger with these things." With like, for example, when it comes to trans healthcare, I think a lot of times in media, people are like portraying, getting something like HRT or, a surgery to get like, your dick removed and surgically get a vagina. A lot of people portray this in media as like, oh, like these children are mutilating themselves, which, mind you, it like you can't even get hormones until you're like, I think it's 14 with parental consent, and also diagnoses from a therapist diagnosing you with gender dysmorphia and a bunch of doctors to agree on it, and a parent who actually gives a shit. um and they also charge you excessively for it, and it's rarely covered by insurance. But yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, these children are like mutilating themselves and getting surgeries, which is also not the case, because the surgery aspect of it, you can't even get these until you're an adult. And even so, that's a very expensive surgery. But I digress. It's stupid with that, as people will always say, oh, children are in danger. Children are, you know, this is, being brainwashed, etc. To get a rise out of, a massive adults and, late teens who are essentially brainwashed themselves into the cult that is modern politics. I mean, there is also the fact that, and hear me out here, on terms of abortions, human fetuses are literally parasites. Like, just think about it for a second. You have, something that lives inside of the host body, inside of an organ, takes nutrients and calories away from the host. It makes a lot of complications for them, like various health risks, you know, increased risk of certain illnesses, vomiting, etc. And then when it is matured enough, it literally just crawls out of the body, and in the case of humans, through through the vagina and out of the just out of their pussy. Um, and, in nature, of course, it will either leave or be raised by the parents for a certain amount of time, of course. But think about it, though. Fetus being a parasite, not all, like, in comparison to, say, various parasitic flies, um, that, say, will go up to a human, bite them, make a little hole in them, lay an egg in them, and fly off. Like, that egg will eventually hatch and sprout out. A fly will come out of the human and fly off, and the cycle repeats. This is basically the same thing with humans, except replace fly with penis, and emerging fly with baby, and skin with uh, you know random person's uterus. Seriously though, think about it. Yeah, sorry if the video was a little bit morbid for your liking. Yeah. I'm also gonna be making some like ASMR videos of me talking and stuff for a bit later, and I hope you all enjoy that. Bye. Or not. Wait. Oh, all right. Sorry.